Let me say something that might sting just a little. Mental illness is booming. And I'm not talking about the deep clinical stuff, the things that need real care, doctors, medication, compassion. I'm talking about the rising tide of, I'm not okay, but I'm not sure why. The burnout, the brain fog, the anxiety at 8 a.m. because your phone buzzed and now somehow you feel behind on a day that hasn't even started. Ever wondered why this is happening? Was everyone mentally healthier in the 1800s? Were farmers less depressed because they didn't have email? Or, and hear me out, has life gotten so loud, so cluttered, so damn fast, that we're not sick, we're just out of sync? Let's look at some words. Disease. Break it down. Dis-ease. Not at ease. Disorder. Dis-order. Something's out of alignment. Now tell me, this doesn't make sense. Back in the day, you had cows. You milked the cows. You fed the chickens. You ate, you laughed, you slept. Maybe a cow died. Sad. Next day, baby calf born. Joy. Life in rhythm. Hard? Sure. But simple. Now, you wake up with an alarm that sounds like the end of the world. You check your phone before you check your breath. You rush your kids to school like it's a Formula One pit stop. Socks, sandwiches, stress. You fight traffic. Fight your inbox. Fight the urge to scream in a Zoom call. Grab a sad sandwich you didn't taste. Forget to drink water. Forget to breathe. Then you drive home. Forget the kids at school. Oops. That was today too. You microwave dinner. You skip the dishes. Again. You scroll social media. You compare. You judge. You feel small. Then you sit on the couch with a bag of chips and a sense of failure. And tomorrow, we do it again. This isn't a life. This is a system error. This is disease. This is disorder. And still, we wonder why we're tired, why we're anxious, why we feel like we're failing. Let me be clear. You're not broken. You're just living in a way that is a way that was never designed for a nervous system like yours, for a soul like yours, for a heart that needs rhythm, not chaos. We used to live in cycles, sun up, sun down, season after season. Now, it's ping, 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 and 24/7 everything. So no, you're not lazy. You're not bad at life. You're just overwhelmed because life became unlivable. So what do? First we breathe. Then we stop glorifying the chaos. Then we take back some order, not by adding more rules, but by removing the noise. Turn off the things that don't feed you. Say no without guilt. Go for a walk without your phone. Eat something slowly. Write something by hand. Laugh. Cry. Dance in your kitchen at midnight if that's what your soul needs. Because healing doesn't start with a therapist's office. It starts with a pause. With one brave moment where you say, this is not ease. This is not order. And I want better. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, you're not alone. But you do have a choice. Ease over speed. Order over chaos. Presence over performance. And above all, peace over productivity. Because when life becomes unlivable, the bravest thing you can do is stop pretending it's normal. And now think about all those things you have to do. Sorry to say it, but really? Have to? The word alone makes my spine itch. Have to. Who said so? Which divine power came down from the clouds and carved your daily to-do list in stone? Yes, you have to eat, you have to drink, and unless you're a goat with a trust fund, you probably have to earn an income. If you're a parent, sure, your kid needs you to show up. Fully, that's sacred. But what about all the other things? Do you have to wear makeup? Do you have to answer every message within 3.2 seconds? Do you have to keep smiling at a dinner party when all you want is to be horizontal in sweatpants? Do you have to check the news 5 times a day, just in case the world exploded since breakfast? Do you always have to clean the kitchen before bed? Or will it still be there, gloriously messy tomorrow morning? And what if, stay with me, what if the real revolution was saying, I don't have to, but I get to. I get to take a break. I get to breathe. I get to walk through the park without tracking it on an app. I get to sit in silence, to stretch, to say no to that 3rd birthday invite this month and say yes to sitting on a bench with a coffee and just looking at trees. Yes, you're allowed. You're allowed to read a book without underlining anything, to watch a movie without tweeting your opinion, to take a nap in the middle of a day that wasn't productive. You're allowed to exist without proving it. And then someone shouts, but scrolling through social media is how I relax. Really? Who told you that? Was it you? Or the dopamine loop your brain's been trapped in since 2012? Let's be honest. Does it relax you or just numb you? Because numbing isn't rest. Numbing is silence in a room that's still burning. Rest is what happens when the fire goes out and you feel safe again. So no, I'm not judging you. We all scroll. We all escape. But maybe, just maybe, it's time to question what you're escaping from. Because the only thing you really have to do is live. And life, it's not in the feed. It's not in the pressure. It's not in the pretending. It's in the pause, in the breath, in the moment when you finally say, I don't have to perform today. I just have to be. Now let's go back to ease and order. Because it's not just about mental or physical rest. It's not just about taking a breath or slowing down. It's also about bringing back structure. Order through simplicity. Look around. You don't need a life full of hacks. You need a life that doesn't require hacking. You want more peace? Then maybe it's not another meditation app you need. Maybe it's less. Fewer tabs open. Fewer shoes by the door. Fewer just-in-case subscriptions you never use, but still pay for. Because here's the trap. You think more, easier, but often, more just means more to manage. Let me show you. You buy a bigger house, great. But now there is more to clean, more rooms to heat, more furniture to dust, more stuff to store. You get a second car. Handy, right? Sure, but now it's double the insurance, double the fuel, double the maintenance, double the paperwork. You get a smart fridge, a smart doorbell, a smart vacuum. And before you know it, you need a smart life manager just to keep all your smart devices from arguing over the Wi-Fi. You start 5 new hobbies, and suddenly your closet looks like a storage unit at Decathlon. You say yes to every invitation, and your calendar starts looking like a game of Tetris you're slowly losing. This isn't ease. This isn't freedom. This is overhead. Life doesn't just need rest, it needs space. And space isn't something you buy, it's something you create. So how do you create more order through simplicity? You start here. 1 in, 1 out. Buy something new. Let something go. New coat in, old one out. Same with commitments, goals, apps, and relationships. Cut complexity. 5 productivity tools. Pick 1. 4 planners. Use 1. 17 tabs open. Close 15. Your nervous system will throw you a thank you party. Create rituals, not routines. Rituals. Simple anchors in your day. Like stretching for 2 minutes when you wake up. Drinking your coffee without your phone. Lighting a candle before you work. They create rhythm, and rhythm brings peace. Shrink your world to expand your peace. You don't need more options. You need fewer decisions. That's not boring, that's beautiful. Because clarity doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing less with more intention. So before you buy that new organizer, ask yourself, what would life feel like if there was simply less to organize? So if you're feeling off, not broken, not lost, just tired in a way you can't explain, this might be it. Maybe it's not disease, but dis-ease. Not disorder, but disorder. And the shift? It doesn't require a coach or a therapist or a full-blown life makeover. It just starts with a choice, a quiet, honest one, to stop saying yes to everything, to stop organizing chaos, to stop performing a life that looks good but doesn't feel good, and instead to choose ease over effort, order over overload, rhythm over rush, being overproven. No, it won't happen overnight. But the moment you choose different, your system starts to breathe again. And in that breath, you remember something simple and sacred. You don't have to fix your whole life. You just have to stop making it heavier than it needs to be. From disease to ease. From disorder to order. Not a diagnosis, just a decision. And that decision is yours.